7,900 years before Aegon's conquest, before crowns were forged in fire and names were written in ash, the world was quieter and far less prepared. From the Shadowlands in the Far East, where maps dissolve into rumor and heat never truly sleeps, a red presence moved west. Not in haste, not in fury, with intention. She crossed seas that steamed at dawn and skies that bent around her mass until she found a jagged basalt horn rising from the smoking sea. To the people who lived there, it was only a headland, a place of fish racks, salt wind, and grazing paths. They knew nothing of dragons, but they knew the ground. They knew that sometimes the rock smelled like rain. They knew there were two warm vents that breathed at night. They called them simply the Two Flames. They kept their distance. At dawn, she arrived. The creature, later named Thoraxia, settled above the bay, placing her weight where the stone had been stone for ages. And the stone answered. Cracks glowed. The salt softened. Steam rose in a straight white pillar, and the world shook, not violently, but deeply, like something old adjusting its spine. Most of the villagers fled. One did not. Roth, the shearer, was stubborn, half-deaf, and convinced that new heat meant richer pasture. He drove his flock too close to the rim, shouting at the steam as if it were fog that could be bullied aside. The sheep hesitated on the glass-slick edge. Roth looked down. What he saw was not a mountain. It was a red shape sleeping inside the heart of one of the flames, vast beyond sense, breathing so slowly that the ledge itself rose and fell with her chest. Thoraxia woke. She lifted her head and exhaled. Not flame, not fury, but heat so clean it bent the air. Stone softened and reset in a single breath. The ledge slumped. The sheep slid. Roth tried to pull one back by the horns. They fell together. The village heard it before they saw it. One sharp crunch, like a cartwheel snapping under too much weight. Steam shifted, and for a blink, they saw Roth between teeth longer than scythes, one boot still kicking, the crook pinned to his chest. Thoraxia tilted her head and swallowed. That was the moment the villagers learned a new word. Not mountain, dragon. She was not cruel. She was not kind. She was busy. Thoraxia had come west to nest. She placed her weight where the ground answered, listening through claw and bone. Her breath was not a torch. It was world fire, white, narrow, exact, welding stone into black glass, pulling deeper heat upward to meet it. The two flames began to speak to one another across the bay. The villagers felt it in their knees. Someone holding a crying child said the sentence that would outlive them all. The mountain moved, and it wasn't a mountain. In the days that followed, fear slowly gave way to attention. The headland changed by inches, then spans. Jagged lips smoothed. Dull holes brightened. At night, when wind skimmed the bay, it carried a hum you could feel on your teeth. Rules formed without argument. Do not cross bare rock when it smells like rain. Do not set racks where the ledge sings. And most important, share the land with the giant. Thoraxia hunted both sea and shore. She pulled leviathans from deep water and laid them on the hottest shelves. When cool winds blew from the north and the steppe hardened, a dust cloud once appeared on the horizon. Raiders, driving 100 horses south. They never saw her above the storm clouds. She folded her wings and dropped like a falling hill. The first 3 horses vanished into her jaws. The line broke. Arrows flew upward and meant nothing. When Thoraxia rose again, 12 horses were gone, and 2 riders lay in the dust, staring at a sky that had stolen their herd. For seasons after, stepmothers whispered a new name to silence boasting sons: the Red Widow. Counting became necessary. There were 2 flames, then 3, then 5. No single day felt decisive, but at dusk, new steam stood where none had before. Within years, there were 10. Then, after one long night when the ground purred like a living thing, 14, an uneven ring, raw, breathing. The old headland became a working hearth. 7,800 years before Aegon's conquest, the steam parted to reveal a circle of eggs laid on the widest shelf. Red, sable, brass, coal, blue, bone, white, gold-streaked, and 3 that changed with the clouds. 9 in all. Thoraxia kept them warm with exact breaths, turning rain to steam with half a wing. Generations passed. Stories hardened into legend. Brave fools tested how close they could crawl before being seen. Thoraxia unfolded a wing once. The shadow reached them before the membrane. They fled, leaving only echoes behind. Then the hatching began. Eggs cracked. The air thickened with iron. 9 furious lives spilled into the world, too hungry for their size and too bold for their skill. Thoraxia brought them more meat than they could manage and let them learn. Each dragon grew into a color and a temper of its own. Men tried nets, men tried hooks, men paid for it. The village added rules, quietly. Stone could change its mind beneath you. Air could burn without flame. Not every lesson hurt. One day, a girl, humming to steady a basket, felt the ledge answer with a low note that made the world feel thin. She tried again, softer. The note returned. She taught her sister. Her sister taught a cousin. They did not call it magic. They treated it like tide and wind, something to notice, something to match. Sometimes the hum tilted a dragon's head. Sometimes it only lifted the hair on their arms. They kept the trick quiet. Thoraxia slept long inside the brightest vent. When she stirred, pots rattled once on shelves. Benches hummed for the length of a breath. Everyone looked east without knowing why. 7,600 years before Aegon's conquest, the air stilled. Steam dropped and stayed down. Birds refused to sing. The 9 hovered above the inner ring like beads on a string. Thoraxia climbed. She opened to her full span and beat her wings 3 times. The glass walls sang, thin and knife-clean. She cleared the ring and rose again without looking back. The 9 followed until their chests burned. One by one, they turned away. The coal-blue hatchling held longest, carving 2 white scratches of steam that pointed east. By nightfall, Thoraxia was gone. Not dead, not fallen, gone. Centuries later, almost everything known of her came from one source, a Valyrian woman who wrote simply, "I dream truth." Her name was Delessa of Oros. From her dreams, scholars learned scale. Where Balerion, the Black Dread, was a mountain that flew, Thoraxia was a continent that breathed. 3 times the mass, a shadow that arrived before her body and lingered after. Balerion destroyed, Thoraxia built. Her fire welded stone. Her breath tuned faults beneath the earth. Where she worked, hearths lasted millennia. Balerion ruled men. Thoraxia shaped the world they stood on. She refused riders, refused chains, refused rule. What she left behind was more dangerous. A ring that breathed, a song that answered, and a lesson learned quietly by girls humming on warm stone. If you must choose the greater shadow, choose the one that remains at noon, long after its owner is gone.